right, so we're ready to start day 2 now. So behind me here we got all the posts set. We're ready to cut our lumber and do all the framing. So the goal for today is to try to get all this framing up, get trusses up, framing 100% done, and hopefully maybe get started a little bit on some soffit and stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and cut all this lumber, and if there's a crew or anything like that, usually one guy could probably do this while the other guys are getting the post set, and you just lay it around the outside and get it all stacked. That way when the posts are up, everything can just kind of go up real quick. All right, so we got all our lumber cut here. As you can see around me here, I got all stacked out. I'm gonna go around and explain kind of the lengths and how I stacked it that way and why and everything, so it makes a little more sense. These kits do come with these drawings as well. It's got the whole layout, and there's like a gable with the doors. Shows you exactly kind of where each board goes. So that also will help a lot. You can kind of see everything. It basically lays it out on how it's supposed to look. So we're gonna go around here and explain how we cut all this. So for the sidewalls, I always bring my lumber in flush with the post. So it's basically that 3 inches under again, and then the gables I cap. So I lay all this out to where I can still work along here. And if you're cutting it as you know the posts are getting set, I just kind of put it on the outside of the batter boards. But I put my skirt board here first, then the next thing I get to is my wall girts, so I stack them on top of my headers. That way I get to them at the right time. So I basically work my way back. And then here, I got some of those over there, but then my roof purlins and my fascia are here, so everything just goes straight up from where it is. And all these ones right here, so there's 4 rows, so I got them staggered, so I got 2 and 2, so they offset like that. So I'll grab one, the other one, and I'll just go up like that and go down the road. So I started laying off back there, and my posts were 1.5 inches back. So my girts down there are 7/9 and 15/9 to start, and then down here they're just 8 and 16, because instead of being 7/10.5 and 7/10.5, since we're staying flush with the post, I just took it, since I scooted my posts back like that, for that last ply to be where the truss is versus on the center, as I explained earlier, and that's why those are 7/9 and 15/9s, and that's just 16s, and then 8 and 16. But the headers are 1.5 inches longer, so it's 7/10.5, because those got to stick out past the post to catch that truss. That'll be on the outside of the gable truss. Then this end here is technically 16-foot 1.5 inch, which I just left it as uncut. So that's pretty much the explanation of that. And then I got my roof purlins are 14s on the ends. I just left them uncut because they'll stick out like 2 foot, and then I'll just cut them, snap a line, and cut them later for the gable fascia. Then I got 16s in the middle, and then I got 14 at this end. Same with my fascia. I cut my 16s down so it splices right on top of the truss exactly, and then so the other side will be the exact same thing as I explained here. And then the gables, you know, like here, I just cut these to whatever that measurement was, which was exactly 3 foot here, and it was 6 foot in between, and then 3 foot at that end. So that's pretty self-explanatory there. My back gable, same thing, did my girts offset, so I had 2 and 2. And then let me show you guys the gable fascia and how I figured that out. So it's laying right here, it's pre-cut with angles and everything on it. And I run my sidewall fascia out past first, and I put my gable fascia. So it basically just resembles the top chord of your truss, is all it does. So you can just measure your top chord of your truss, whatever you have long to short, and your angles, and you can just pre-cut it and it'll be right. And so then my doors, let's go to my doors here. So I went ahead and I always put it down even with bottom of skirt board. I just pick away. You could probably adjust this if you wanted to, but how I do it is I make it even with the bottom of my skirt board. So I cut it 8-foot tall door. I went 8 foot 3.5. So that brings me up, if I come up 4 inches from the bottom of my skirt board where my floor height is, since that floor is 1.5 inches down, hope that all makes sense. And then if you come up 4 inches, then that means you're gonna be 1/2 inch under your 8 foot, which is what you want. Because these door widths are 9 foot exactly, but the door panels are 9.2, so I got 1 inch on each side and at least about 1/2 inch on top as well. That's how I do all my doors. And then my bottoms, or my header will be like a trough, and you'll see that later when I'm framing. But my bottom obviously is just 9 foot to fit in between the posts. And I did rip it down because these posts are about 5.25 inches wide, 5.125. So with it being 5.5, it does just lay better if you rip it down. And then my inside one, I run all the way out to the edge of my jambs going up, which is these ones. And so I go 5.5 and 5.5. So then that one I just made 9.11. And then the outside, I went 9.5 because I go 2.5 inches on my post. But since my girt will be butting into it, it'll be at 8 foot, so a girt will be right there. So that way I still got room to fasten my girt right there as well. So that's the best way to explain that. It was 9 foot wide, so it's 9.5, 9.11 on the inside, and then 9 foot on the bottom. So if you got a 10 foot wide door, you just do the same thing, except it's 10 foot, 10.11, 10.5. And then let's show you guys the laid offs here. I lay these all off. I'm gonna run 3 on the bottom cord on this one, and I'm gonna run 2 on each side laid off for my, as I'm setting trusses. These are only 30 wide, so I'll probably just run my trusses and then put them in. But I cut my 14s down to 10 foot to where I can start them, and then they're offset from my other ones, so I'll have some offset rows, some sort of a staggeration through there. So I mark all those out, and I'll show you guys how to put them all on, but that way they're pre-marked, pre-cut, everything's ready to go. So that's about it. Obviously I got some braces laying around, just kind of scattered around for roof bracing, temporary wall bracing, and then roof to truss to wall bracing, sorry, to get everything kind of braced up. I just got them scattered out, but that'll all come to, you guys will see I got my jack bracings pre-cut. Actually, a lot of this stuff like jack bracing, my truss blocks, all that stuff is pre-cut in the shop, so it makes it go a lot faster when you get out here. So, and those will come pre-cut with a kit as well. But yeah, we'll get right into framing then. I think that pretty much explains it.